And also at the same time now, there's some unrest. I understand from some more of the talent that are. He's not coming out and openly naming names and pointing fingers in an exact direction like some people have, but is Rey Fenix? He's unhappy with his Uncle Tony.
Yeah, we mentioned this, I think, briefly in one of the clips last week. What did he tweeted out something? Do you remember what he tweeted out? Because I don't have the first tweet in front of me, but it was something that he tweeted out.
Well, there was, I don't remember if this was the first one, but people are talking about these, well, the inhumane treatment tweet.
Right, that wasn't the first one. Rey Fenix tweeted out something last week. Let me see if I can find anything. Rey Fenix tweet. Of course, everything's now about the latest batch of tweets.
The new tweet rather than the old tweet.
But here we go. If we go to Rey Fenix.
Now, he's the fellow that they're going to extend his contract because he was hurt. He got choke slammed off the apron of the ring through a table or off a table or maybe past a table. I can't remember what happened. And broke his arm, right? Isn't he the one that did that?
That is indeed him. That was several years ago, and it happened on live TV. Yeah.
Yeah. So now they paid him while he was out. Yes, but normally I say, well, if you pay a motherfucker to sit at home on his ass, for months and months, and then he comes back, well, maybe but boy, at the same point, when you had him do something stupid on your television and he broke his fucking arm in half, because that was pretty gruesome, I might have sympathy here.
Well, Rey Fenix tweeted out on December 7th, "No one stays in a place where they received inhumane treatment." So again, he's not been on TV for a long time. We had heard that there was a rumor that Rey Fenix and his brother, the Lucha Brothers, are going to WWE. Penta had, I think, a month added to his contract. Rey Fenix then had 9 months added to his contract. Then also, 6 hours ago, as we are recording, Rey Fenix tweeted out, "I needed a doctor, and you ignored me for months."
Oh!
Now that may remind you of something. That's what CM Punk said about things when he was on Ariel Helwani, remember? That when he was out after he got hurt, he never heard from anyone in the company.
He did all of his own shit.
Yeah. So here's Rey Fenix, and again, we don't know if it's about the arm, which was several years ago, or something more recent. "I needed a doctor, and you ignored me for months." Now, again, it's all kind of a riddle. Someone, and I don't know who this is, Dr. Chris Featherstone, PhD.
That can't move. Wait a minute, Dr. Chris Featherstone, PhD. That's got to be some kind of gimmick. Like, wasn't Tommaso Ciampa like Thomas Penmanship at one point?
Well, here's what he tweeted out, and I'll give you the response.
Wait a minute, I think it's a Hotchkiss Featherbottom wannabe. Go ahead.
"I received information from an AEW source on November 20th regarding the Lucha Brothers' status, but did not report it as I was waiting for one of them to begin speaking their mind about the situation. I was told that was coming. I was also told that day that Penta's contract was ending soon with AEW. Rey Fenix did just that, in parentheses, spoke his mind, so here is some intel I received. The alleged excuse that Tony Khan found out about the Lucha Brothers being in talks with WWE is fake news, and the real reason will be revealed. There is a real story behind the situation with Rey Fenix, which is a huge injustice."
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Pause now. So he's saying the story will be revealed, but he ain't going to reveal it here.
That's right.
Okay, so yet to be determined. Okay.
Expect the Lucha Brothers to go more in depth about their time in AEW when they are free and clear to do so, and when they do, it is going to be ugly. Rey Fenix responded, "So far the most accurate comment."
Oh!
And then the next thing said, "Unfortunately, due to contractual issues, I cannot speak now, but I will have my time."
Well, it sounds like he's got a song he needs to sing, and he's going to sing it sooner or later.
Now, this comes on the heels of a number of things with all different levels of talent, from everything with Kevin Kelly and the Tate Twins, which we've talked about, to Jake Hager. Was it Halloween or was it election? It was election night. He had an election night flip out about the election.
Well, and I mean, even I don't believe Tony Khan's a communist, for heaven's sake.
But it sounded like there may have been bigger issues with him and the company. We don't know. This comes on...
A lot of people not happy.
Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
Everything with Ricky Starks and the way this has been conducted. This comes on the heels of hearing about wrestlers, again, going back to Jelly Nutella, who were ghosted by The Office. They went home and they were home, and that was it. They never heard from them again. So there are all these variety of issues, everything being blamed on CM Punk,
and by the way, I know
Ryan Nemeth.
Well, there you go, having a complaint about a fucking complaint about a complaint. But a lot of people are going to say, oh, he didn't get a doctor. I thought Tony pays for everything. Paying for and getting a doctor are two different things. They can say, well, we either paid or reimbursed or did whatever. I don't think anybody's suing the company for unpaid medical bills. But here the thing is, obviously a big time TV wrestling company and an organization owned by a billionaire such as the WWE, you would imagine would have access to the better doctors and the more experienced sports professional orthopedic people and blah, 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 like Dr. Jim Andrews in Birmingham that a lot of the guys went to for so long, and the state-of-the-art guys, instead of, to be honest, some fucking random guy living in Mexico, or does he live in California? Almost the same thing with the healthcare system. We got 40 million fucking people. He doesn't want to just go see somebody that does, when somebody falls off a roof, I got to fix his fucking arm or his leg or whatever. He's a professional athlete. But you need a company, an organization, a structure behind you to find you these people and these rehab people. And that's what Punk was talking about. He handled everything himself. Whereas he lives in Chicago, he's been through that. He had contacts. But a lot of these guys get left up to, well, let us know how much it costs, it sounds like.
Yeah, Rey Fenix, hold on to your receipts and lay out all the money, and we'll be in touch.
And that has happened before, not only possibly in this company. I've heard of that happening before, not in the WWE, but in a variety of places.
This idea, and we've talked about it in the past with people who weren't tweeting out stuff like this, like with Miro. Although Miro tweeted out stuff too, now that I think about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's been a lot of tweeters at various points that were upset. People that are sometimes either still there or not there anymore or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Rey Fenix wants to do something else, obviously. At this point, why would you even want him? When it becomes this public, everyone always says, well, this is what WWE does. They don't just let guys go. Yeah, well, Bryan Danielson wasn't on Twitter for years saying, use me or your inhumane treatment will be known to the public. Like, that wasn't happening.
Free me from the chains of bondage.
Yeah, that wasn't happening. It's happening here specifically with AEW over and over and over and over again. And also, I mean, let's be very honest, we don't know what Rey Fenix is trying to do. But Tony is the guy who will pay a lot of money to get you in an NDA to shut up if he thinks you're going to say something. They tried to get Ryan Nemeth at a 3-year they tried to give him a 3-year severance package to sign an NDA when they still had Punk.
But wait a minute, they said 3 years salary and he was on a per night deal. So how the fuck does that you'd even do that? Okay. I would have booked you 12 times over the next year.
So what do you do? Because again, you don't want to, if you're a wrestling promoter, you don't want to just release talent who declare, I want to go to WWE, so I'll punch Sammy in the face. Again, this is not a new problem. But this Rey Fenix thing has been bubbling for a while. Now he's starting to vaguely tweet things out. Now people who may have heard the story from a source are starting to sprinkle in some information around that. What do you do if you're Tony Khan? Do you just release him? What do you do, I guess? I'll just leave it at that.
Well, what the real problem here is that they obviously want to go to the WWE together, the Lucha Brothers, but one's got 1 month and the other one has 9 months. And that's awkward. And, if the one guy says, well, I'm not going to sign until my brother can sign, well, then they might not be ready to sign by the time that happens. Maybe they both lose out. Conversely, if he signs, and then even if they do sign his brother in however many months with a non-compete, then they're always uneven on their contracts. They want to be a unit. They want to be a pair. They want to negotiate together. So this is affecting them years on down the line in their career if they just can't even get this opportunity when they're both free together. So this is even more convoluted and potentially something that might play on people's heartstrings than just one guy. And but at least he's getting paid, whatever. It's the one guy affecting the other guy.
And no one's thrown out the word inhumane.
But I mean, maybe that's another one of those translations.
What does that mean? Tony kept me chained to the dog in the cellar. Like, what the fuck?
He's been whipping me with a fucking extension cord, and the whole locker room is filled with wire hangers.
Meanwhile, by the way, Penta, if he is not signed with WWE, I believe it's imminent. He gave a farewell speech. I want to say it was a AAA show I saw a video of, saying goodbye to Mexico for now. Again, it's a real... The problem is these are messy situations that are now always spilling out into the public space.
Well, yeah, and where I was going with that short version real quick is, yes, in most cases, I'm for a promoter being able to extend a contract if he's been paying the guy, but this was an egregious injury on something that, they just do so much stupid shit.
Assuming it's that injury, though. Again, we don't know what, because that was a while ago, and he's been out, before they had this problem, he was out, wasn't he? I mean...
Well, we haven't seen him in ages, but a lot of time people just come and go to the point where, I got to be sympathetic with talent here, even though I don't like them. I think they're the shits and their matches are all the same, but, I'm sympathetic to the talent in this instance that he fucking vanished them a long time ago and they were in and out for a period of time we couldn't get rid of them. They're not that valuable to him anymore to begin with. So why not let them fucking go? And you're still not setting a precedent that's set in stone because of the fact that it is two of them and you're trying to work with brother. I think they really are brothers to facilitate the next stage of their career. But that doesn't mean you have to let every Tom, Dick, and Harry out of their contract just because they don't want to be in it. But he hadn't used them in fucking... How long has it been? Has it been a year since we've seen these fucking people?
It's been a long time, and here's a weird question, and I think I already know the answer, but is there anything to the point here in this day and age where you could sell the contract? You could be, well, I shouldn't say sell the contract necessarily, but, buy me out. You want to get out of your contract right now? Buy me out. I know it's not really that much money in the general scheme of things, but otherwise you're just paying someone to sit home while you keep extending them.
Well, Vince had in 97, I think Davey Boy did that. He said if Davey Boy wanted to go to the WCW, I sound like Brett now, but to WCW, I think he had to buy for some six-figure sum, buy out the rest of his deal. And then, I'm sure he made a deal with Bischoff that covered it or whatever, but that's not unheard of. And conversely, that's what I pitched to in the opposite. I pitched to Herd in 1990. Hey, you owe whatever the total of all three of our contracts was. You just pay us half and we'll go away right now and you won't have to fly us around or whatever. I don't want to set that precedent. And then like a year later, he bought Jimmy Garvin out. 2 years at $150,000 a year. He gave him $180,000 just to go away. Saved him $120,000. I'm like, goddamn. It would have cost him that much to set the precedent with us. He was just too stubborn. But yeah, that's, there for a while there, you could actually get a promoter to pay you to go home. Anyway, we wish the best to Rey Fenix in his future endeavors. Don't we, Brian?